About system of equations by graphing, and what that is you have two equations and you'll need to graph them both on the same graph and then tell me where they cross. So we're going to start at -2 and then we'll do the slope of -1 over 1, which is down 1 and over 1. And I highly recommend that you repeat the slope as many times as possible because that will make your line a little bit straighter. So there is the first line. And then the second line, we will have a +4, so that is up here. And we will have a slope of -4 over 1. So I'll go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. Now this is the second point of the line. We're going to do again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1, and we'll have a third point on the line right there. When we graph it in, it's pretty clear that these lines do in fact intersect. They intersect at this point right here, and this is what we call the solution to the system, which is at 2, -4, and that would be your final answer. Now some systems have special cases, like for instance this one, number 5. If you were to graph it, you would start the first one at -3, and then do a slope of +4/3. So that is up 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 3 is right here. That's the only point we can actually plot for this line because the graph is a little bit small. And so that is the first line right there. Now the second one, you may notice, has a very similar equation. It's got a -2, but it has the same slope of +4/3. And so we'd go up 4 and over 3. And then we end up with two parallel lines. If the lines are parallel, that means they have the same slope and they will never cross. So we could call this one no solution because they will never cross no matter how far out we go. Other types of special case answers happen whenever you have two equations that are completely identical to each other. Now these two do not look identical to each other at all, but we can make them so that they are. Whenever we are going to graph this, we'll start the first one by subtracting the 3y from both sides, and that'll get me a -3y is equal to 8x plus 12. We can get rid of the -3 by simple division, and make sure to divide everything, leaving me y is equal to 8 over -3, or -8/3 x minus 4. We can graph that by going to -4. We can't go down, so we'll go up 8 and over 3, and that'll get me another point right there. So we connect it, there's our line. Now the second equation looks extremely different, but we can make it so it's the same as the first one by adding 9y, giving me 9y is equal to a -24x minus 36. And you may notice that whenever I do my division by 9 on everything, that I'll have y is equal to a -8/3 x minus 4, which is an identical equation. We have the same intercept, we have the same rise, the same run, and so we have the same line. Now since there are an infinite number of points, any point along these lines are where these things intersect, we have an infinite number of them. It's not just one answer or two answers, it is infinite. So we call this infinite solutions.